what happens to home values during a recession? Well, in short, they decline. There are several factors as to why home values pull back during a recession. And the most important one is people are scared. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know how long the recession is going to last. So they tend to hold on to their money. They tend to be a bit more safe when they're making investments, or they tend to be a bit more hesitant when they're looking to make investments. So that causes home values to pull back and decline a little bit. And another thing that really does play into decline in values is the unemployment rate. If you aren't able to buy because you don't have a job, makes it a bit more difficult to get into a house, right? You need a job, you need money to buy a house, to pay for it. So that also causes a bit of a pullback in values. Now, another thing that does happen though during a recession is we'll see interest rates drop because they do want to see people buying houses. So they know that once a recession hits, interest rates drop so that it can motivate people to take advantage of the low interest rates and sort of stimulate the economy. But yeah, so you do see home values drop. And you do see people that are hesitant to invest in homes or buy homes because of the uncertainty of the recession and how long it's going to last. But one thing to keep in mind is the low interest rates and the declining of home values. You can really get a good deal on a home if, one, you have a job, your job is stable, you have savings, and this makes good financial sense for your specific situation, whether you're downsizing, whether you're upgrading, whether you're looking to relocate. This might actually be the best time to do it during a recession when everybody is pulling back and home values are declining. This might be the best time to get a really, really good deal on a home. At the same time, during recessions, home lenders or loan officers or banks, retail banks, whatever you want to call them, they become stricter with their guidelines because they want to be sure that the individual they are lending the money, or the individual that they are financing this home for can 110% pay the loan in full. So they become a bit stricter. The guidelines become a bit tighter. You'll see overlays. An overlay is, in its simplest term, let's say I'm going to give you an example for what an overlay is. Let's say FHA, the government, says that to buy a home, FHA going 3.5% down, you need at least a 580 FICO score, right? So that's the bare minimum that you need. But now the bank says, okay, yeah, we know that the government said you need a 580 FICO score, but because of what's going on right now, we are going to increase that to a 600 credit score or a 620 credit score, right? So that is what you would consider an overlay if a bank has their own guideline or their own rule for the minimum financing for an FHA loan. So you might see things of that nature where they'll become stricter with their lending guidelines. We saw this during COVID, where a lot of banks had a lot of overlays because of the layoffs, because of the gaps of employment. So we saw this during COVID. So that is another reason why it can decline and why home values can decline. And typically they do decline during recessions. So with all that being said, it is very, very important to take all of these factors into consideration and really think, if you are potentially buying during a recession, think about, hey, is your home value going to drop even more? So say you bought it at 500,000, but by the end of the recession, it's now worth 450 or 400. Is this going to be a long-term investment? Is it going to be a property that you are looking to flip? Take into consideration all of these factors, speak with a professional, ask them where the current market that you are in is going and what they think home values will decline if and when the recession hits. There's nothing like speaking to a professional so that they can guide you through this process and just make you aware of what could potentially happen. But like I said, you can also take advantage of the low interest rates that happen during recessions that take place and the declining values of homes. So you'll see a lot of people that are taking advantage of this and getting great deals on homes. But overall, yes, home values do decline during recessions, but there's nothing to be scared of because once the recession is over, they continue to rise. So we'll see it like this a little, right? But it's going up and up and up. So inform yourself, educate yourself. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. As always, if you found value, please share this with a friend, family member, a coworker, somebody you think needs to hear this. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.